January 21st of this year, of 2026, the Trump administration expanded the visa bond pilot program to a number of countries around the world, including Uganda, based on a range of immigration risk factors. Ugandans who are otherwise eligible, so once someone is qualified for what we call a B1, B2 visa for tourism or for business travel, and these are non-immigrant visas, are now, since January 21st of this year, required to post a refundable bond up to $15,000 before that visa can be issued. Now, this is important to note. This is a visa bond, and it is a requirement that is not retroactive. But it is also important to underscore that for future travelers, for anyone that is applied for and been issued a visa from January 21st on, they must, for tourism and for business travel, they must put forth this fully refundable bond that travelers that then in turn comply with the terms and conditions of their U.S. visa will, and also once they are entered into the United States and return, they will have that visa bond repaid and refunded to them.
Firstly, I want to stress that it's very important that people do not pay a bond before their visa interview. We're very worried that people will be scammed. Please do not pay a bond before the interview. If the consular officer during the interview determines that the applicant qualifies for the B1, B2 visa, at that time, so while they're still at the interview, the officer will explain how to pay the bond and what is the dollar amount of that bond. Visa compliance, compliance with the visa bond is pretty straightforward. The bond is automatically canceled and fully refunded to the traveler after they depart the United States, or if they don't travel to the United States during the time of their visa. So that money is refunded to the traveler. There are a few situations where the money would not be refunded to the traveler, and that would be if the traveler overstayed. In other words, they stayed longer than their period of admission, if they break U.S. laws when they're in the United States, or if they seek to change their status, including applying for asylum. So those are some situations in which the bond might not be refunded. Now, regarding the pause on immigrant visa issuance. So note that this is a pause while the Department of State is doing a full review of our policies and regulations for immigrant visas. Our immigrant visa applications and interviews are continuing during this period. Simply, the department is not issuing those visas at the moment. Previously issued immigrant visas have not been revoked, so if someone has an immigrant visa, they may travel on that. And note that that pause does not apply to non-immigrant visas. So students, business and tourist travelers, work visas, all of those are not affected by the immigrant visa pause.
To give context to what Ambassador is explaining, in most cases, you'll have a situation where an applicant actually sets out to legitimately do something in the United States. And when they get there, they change their minds and then attempt to change their status. Many times this happens, particularly if they have family on the other end, of friends, or a community where it is indicated that changing your status or changing your purpose of travel is easy. So the numbers of Ugandans traveling to the United States that are filing for change of status are quite high. And that is the data, part of the data that is being looked at. So when Walter asks what are the benchmarks, the numbers are a very good benchmark. So part of what we are requesting is also for our Ugandan community that lives and works in the United States to follow the law, follow the regulations, and not try to encourage regular visitors to change their status just because they can.